Welcome, my name is Juliet, and in this video I'm going to show you how I use the Divi builder to create opt-in pages. And in this particular one, I am inspired by the opt-in page, one of the opt-in pages from leadpages. So let's get started. Now, before we get started, if you have not subscribed to my channel or liked my Facebook page, please do so. Hit the subscribe button below or the like button below, and hit that notification button so that you are notified every time I create new content. Now, I have actually already created this particular page that was inspired by this page from leadpages. But after all this work, I realized that my mic wasn't working. And so instead of doing a voiceover, I just thought I would do another page instead. It would seem easier that way than trying to put a voiceover over that. So let's get started, and we will recreate this page with maybe a different set of images or something. Now, this layout, when I'm inspired by something, I generally look at the layout and maybe the look and feel of it. So I'm not necessarily copying the words word for word, and you shouldn't do that, but mostly the layout. So let's get going. So we'll create a new page. Now, whether you're using the Divi builder or not, when you choose a theme, especially if you're trying to build a business and you know that you're going to need opt-ins, always make sure that they give you a blank page option. If they don't give you a blank page option, to be honest, just nix. My personal opinion, just nix that theme or that template. But Divi builder gives you the default template and a blank page option. So we're going to select the blank page option. And the other one was the pizza opt-in. So we're going to call this the muffin opt-in. I'm going to use the Divi builder, of course. And let's use the visual builder. Great. So this is a blank page. As you'll notice, there are no navigations. Your footer is gone, and so is your header. Now let's take a look at the layout on this inspiration page. So I have two columns here, an image and a header and a body text. I have full width here, and I have 3 columns over here. Now let's go back and duplicate that. So at the top, I have 2 columns. The first one was an image. Now this is something new with Divi. They started giving us placeholders, which is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and just save this out right now. We're not going to make any changes. We're just building out our layouts right now. And this was a text. So I'll use this as my header text. Now I can go ahead and create another text module, but just to make my life easier, because Divi is just awesome, I am just going to duplicate this. And I think I will duplicate it twice, and I will show you why in a moment. So over here I have my text. Over here I have body, and then I have another body here that is bolded. Now I can definitely do the same, but I'm going to go with 3, and we will customize that in a bit. So I'm going to add a new row to this for my full width row. So that's 1 over here, and I'm going to use that as my opt-in. So I will choose email opt-in over here, and we'll save that. Again, we'll come back and do some customizations a bit later. And at the bottom here, I have 3 columns. So I'm going to go in here, create another row, and do 3 columns. Now I have a few options for the 3 columns. I have an equal part over here. I have maybe a 2/3 and a quarter over here. I have a quarter, and a 2/3 over here. And I have a quarter, 2/3, and a quarter. So if we take a look at this, it looks like it's a 2/3 over here, and then maybe a quarter and a quarter. So let's do that, 2/3, a quarter, and a quarter. Now I already know this is not going to look great, but we're going to do it, and then I will show you how to fix it if you actually don't like the way something looks once you've done it. Okay, so the first one was the logo, so that was an image. Go ahead and save that anyway. And this was a text. Save that. And then this was another image. Perfect. Now I do see here that the text, we had a header text over here, and then we have another body text over here. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this again. And that's our layout. So let's start making it look like our inspiration page. Okay. Now the fonts and the colors are inherited from your theme colors. So if you ever need to change the theme colors, you can either change the complete theme color, or you can change them individually on this actual layout. But in this case, I'm going to let it inherit my theme colors. Okay. All right. So let's start with the image over here. I'm going to go ahead and change that. So since I am calling this a muffin opt-in page, I'm going to look for a picture of a muffin. Okay, I have a muffin. I have one muffin over here. All right, I'll take that one. Great, so let's collapse this. Now this looks fine, but I want to give it a bit of a pop. So if you look at this particular page, I gave it a bit of a pop. So the way to do that is we're going to go into Design, Box Shadow, and I'm going to choose this one. So you immediately notice that it gave the image a bit of a lift, and we have different options. I'm going to choose this one as well. I think I'll keep this one. So in the other one, I chose this, but for this tutorial, I think I'll take this particular one over here. And you're more than welcome to play around with the shadows if you want, but I'm happy with the way it looks right now. And let's go ahead and customize this one. So this is our header. So I'm going to select all of this and make this my header 1. And as you can see, it is a lot of text for a header. So I'm going to remove all of this. Save that. Now, it's great that Divi is giving us this content placeholders. I am still married to lorem ipsum because it is gibberish enough for me to know blatantly that it needs to change. My only concern with having actual text is that I just may forget to change it and my text just may look funny. But this is fine. We can either paste my lorem ipsum inline here. Sometimes this inline just, as you can see, it can just be frustrating. I'm trying to highlight this and it's just doing its own thing, right? So that's why you'll see in a lot of my tutorials, I just go ahead and just use the settings option. All right. So we are going to take on some more text from here. I'm going to close out of this and make my life easier. And just select that. And I'm going to give myself some more space and do that. And at the bottom here was the bold text. So I'm going to delete that and make this bold. Perfect. So we have our 2 paragraphs and a bold. And of course, as you change it to the text, to your own text, you can decide whether or not you're getting 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. That's completely up to you. And you can change this anytime you want. I'm going to just add a few more text to my second paragraph over there. Yeah, okay. There we have it. I like that. And on this section, this is this part. It's full width. So let's go ahead and make the change to full width. Now you can leave it like this if you want. I think it still looks great, just leaving it like this. I did make this one full width, but you can leave this like this. But I'll go ahead and make it full width so you guys can see how to go ahead and make your section full width. So we'll click on the row setting, not the actual module setting, but the row setting. So we'll select the row under design, size. We're going to make this full width. Okay. So even though it says full width, you'll see there's still some white both left and right. So we'll use custom width, and the custom width right now is 1080 pixels, right? Now you can choose to make it bigger, but you never really know what computers people have. So I always just choose to go with a percentage. I will do 100% and go 100%. And that's how you can change. And that's how you can change your full width on the row. What I also want to do, we'll save this. What I also want to do is for the most part, people don't like giving their last names. They're pretty happy with just giving their first names. So to increase my chances of conversion, I do generally don't request the last name. Now, if your business does require it, let's say, you're giving legal advice, or you're going to be giving people some legal, some kind of legal document of some sort. Maybe you want to use their last name, so you can definitely request that. But for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Now, if that was a little too fast, let's do that. We're modifying the actual module. Close this. And in the field section, I'm taking away the last name. Perfect. And in the success action, you can display a message, but for optimal email marketing and to build your business, a display message is not advisable. This is because when we're running ads and such, and if you are following me, I do definitely recommend that you put on a Facebook pixel. And so when you land on your thank you page, your Facebook pixel will fire and it will record that as a lead. Now, if you just display a message, there's absolutely no way for the Facebook pixel to know that somebody actually converted. So I will suggest that you always use a custom URL redirect. So we'll put that information here. And let's just confirm that this is the right URL. Yep, this is the right URL. Okay. So this says choose whatever data, if any, to include in the redirect URL as query arguments. I'm not going to use that. I've never used that and it's actually pretty new to me, so I'll ignore that for now, but I've done what I need to do. Perfect. And we want to make sure that we're linking this to an actual email server. So in this particular case, I'm using MailChimp. MailChimp is what I have set up. But if you use something completely different like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or GetResponse for that matter, just go ahead and follow the setup process. For that, I will be doing some tutorials on maybe ActiveCampaign and MailerLite. I do have access to those, so I will be doing a tutorial on those. So watch out for them. All right, so we're doing MailChimp, and let's make sure we select the right list for MailChimp. Let's see. All right. Now, if you want to change the background, because in our inspired page, the background is gray, we can do that over here. I can just choose the black and move around a bit so I get that gray color that's over there. But I actually very happy with this blue that I have over there, so I will leave that alone. Awesome. Okay, so I clicked out of that, but I wanted to I'm going to go back into that and let and show you something. Whenever, again, for marketing purposes, don't do this. Don't leave it as subscribe. It seems spammy and it just, people are over it. If that makes any sense. People are over it. Make the call to action very specific to what you're giving them. So in this particular case, I have a muffin picture over here. I'm just going to assume I'm going to be giving them the recipe to a delicious, let's say a delicious vegan muffin recipe of that sort. We are going to make sure that the heading over here speaks to what I'm giving them, right? So it would say something like free download or download your free vegan recipe over here. And then at the bottom here, I will give them a little blurb, again, a little more information as to what we're giving them, so something that speaks to their pain point. So we'll talk about something like, are you tired of your vegan recipes tasting like cardboard or your vegan muffin tasting like cardboard? Download this recipe for free for a delicious, moist vegan recipe, right? Something to that effect, making things up as I go. And so this call to action should not be subscribe. Because right now we're talking about, we're giving them a vegan recipe. They just have to put in their name and email address to get the vegan recipe. So I wouldn't leave this as subscribe. We're going to change that to send me the recipe. So let's go that. Uh-oh. Ugh. Let's do that. Send me the recipe. All right. That looks better than subscribe, right? That is a call to action that people are more likely to take than just subscribe. Now, we both know that they're subscribing to your email list or to your email tribe, but we just want to give them, something to motivate them to do that. So we'll use send me the recipe, or oh my goodness, I need this now, right? So some psychology happening over there. So let's move on. All right, so this particular part, if we leave it like this, the logo is going to be massive. Our text is going to be pretty tiny. And our image over here, it seems fine. So we want to change this layout. Now, the great thing about our Divi builder, again, is that we can go ahead and make the change to the layout. So at this point, I'm thinking I want this one instead. The quarter, the 2/3, and the quarter. Yes, so I'm happy with this instead. So we'll go ahead. I love Divi, but I don't like their inline changes. It's actually quite annoying. So there we go. And your name, I'm going to change that to a header 1. And I can change it over here and make it right align. Or you can go into your design section, go to your header text. Because we used header 1, it's over here. We can change the header 1 alignment to text align, to right align. I generally like making the change in the design, but if you do it in the actual text as well, that is fine. And there we go. And we are going to change this to perfect. So I'm going to go to design. And this was a body text. So we're going to go to text, and I am going to change that to right align as well. Text. And I believe one of them was bold. So which one was it? The very last one. So I think I'll bold my title instead. So bold my title, and I'll brag about yourself over here. I like that. Let's choose a picture. I'll take that picture over there, just so people know who's giving them their recipe. With personal branding, try to show your face wherever possible, wherever you can, so people know exactly who they're dealing with. And so when they see your pictures or anything like that, they definitely recognize you, and that's part of your personal branding. All right, so this is a little high up. I want to bring it down a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a divider. Now the way the divider works, because it's so tiny, it's kind of hard to make changes to it from here. So what I like to do is once in a while pop into my wireframe. So I'll go over to this purple here, wireframe, and I'm going to add a divider. I'm going to move my divider up. There we go. To go out of your wireframe, click on it again. There we go. So now I can actually see my divider. However, I don't want it visible. Let's move this out of our way so we can see what we're doing. We'll go to design, And we're going to make this slightly bigger. Now, as I move this back and forth, take a look at this moving up and down. So if I make it smaller, it goes up. If I make it bigger, it goes down. So I just have to choose the right spot for it. There we go. Perfect. I like that. Now I think my name is a little too big over here. So I'm going to make that a header 2. Perfect. And then over here, I'm going to put in my logo. So logo, where are you? There we go. Perfect. Now I do want my divider up here as well. So I'm going to pop it back into my wireframe. And this time I'm going to duplicate the divider here and move it across to there. Now, because I duplicated this is already set up. I had a bigger width and I removed the visibility. So when I duplicate that, it retains all the settings that I had created. And so when I move it over here, it just pops it in place. So there we go. So yeah, I'm liking this. This looks fine. And this looks more like, a little more like this. Yes. Of course, I didn't use the same words here. But it is looking more like this. All right. I think I do want my divider slightly bigger. So I'm going to move it a little more further down. And there we go. Perfect, guys. So here we go. We are done. You can either save to draft or we can publish. Right? But I think we're done. Let's take one more look at it. Muffins. So we've got, we're obviously going to change this. We're going to change all of that once, we are actually using it. But there we go. So let's go ahead and publish this. All right, so let's take a look to see if the form works. It should work since we did set it up to our MailChimp. Now, I don't have an autoresponder set up or anything. That's a completely different lesson. But let's just see if we actually get the email, okay? All right, so it redirects me to the almost there page, which is good. So that works. And sure, the email address is here. I am subscribed and I am good to go. So at least we know that the form works. And of course, like I said, it's a completely different lesson to set up your autoresponders. And that's something that we will talk about later. All right, guys. So that's it for this lesson. Let me know what you think. Did you like this page? Did you like how we got the inspiration and how we made a few tweaks to make it our own? Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it. And again, let me know what kind of other content you would like to see, and I will try my best to bring it to you. So thank you so much for sticking it out with me, and I will talk to you later. Take care and God bless.